nitrogen that they were producing for their weapons and putting it into fertilizers. But they didn't realize that those fertilizers, they have a lifespan in terms of how much they can help the soil. After a while, it becomes more and more depleted. You see, but with the cows, when they're allowed to graze naturally in the pastures, and whatever they're taking in, they're putting back even more. Just like we have, you know, some places they say whatever tree we cut down for our publishing, for our paperworks, whatever we use the tree for, we plant 10 more trees. So the cows are like that. Whatever they're taking, they're giving back more. It's natural recycling. The problem comes when man wants to think that he's going to increase better in nature. He's better than God. He's going to tweak nature in such a way that we can take a shortcut. But there aren't any shortcuts. Because whatever exploitation that we perform to nature or to any of the other species of nature, we have to understand we're all part of one internet unit. And it's going to come back to us. It's just a matter of time. So especially anybody who has children, or thinks of having children, or your children are going to have children, you have to think about these things. And what kind of planet we want to give to our descendants. So it starts with right now. That we have to have a longer term vision, which means Tapol Divyam Putrikayeni Shadvam. This is one verse from 5th canto. Rishabdev Prabhupada used to like to quote. That human life is meant for performing a tapasya, an austerity, some kind of sacrifice by which we can get something greater in the long run, which is Brahma Sokyam Tvanantam, unlimited spiritual bliss. Brahma Sokyam Tvanantam, that type of Sokyam, Brahma Sokyam, that's what the soul is wanting. But the problem is, you see, in this modern day and age, people don't have knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. They may think they've read Gita, but they don't have the basic knowledge, which is, this body is not me. So as soon as we understand that, but people don't want to understand that, even when they hear it, that I'm something else than the body. Okay? Because that creates a problem. That creates a problem. That if I'm not the body, if I'm a spirit in the body, then the question becomes, why am I in a material body? I mean, that sounds good, that I'm eternal spirit, I don't die, I have a higher nature, I'm something else in the body. Sounds good, okay. But the problem is, why am I in this body then? So you have to answer that question. Where did I come from? Why have I come here? Is there another dimension? Is there another place? Is there another environment that I've come from? What am I supposed to be doing there? So one question leads to another, and they don't like where those questions lead to. Because it means that there's a whole other purpose, there's a higher meaning in life. And if I'm consciousness in this body, then it means that there's probably a higher consciousness behind reality, ultimate reality, and people don't want to accept that. So they'd rather just stop at the first point. Yeah, I'm my body, and eat, sleep, marry, and defend is the purpose of my life, and I don't have to think about anything for the future. But then they claim to be loving their children, and they don't think about their children's future. So this is the problem. You see, as soon as we get away from spiritual life, as soon as we get away from God, then we create so many different problems, even on the material level. But if we live with the larger perspective, then even right now, in the here and now, we actually live a more healthy, peaceful, satisfied life than the materialist who has no faith in anything else. So it's all tied together. It's all tied together. This basic philosophy of the Gita, spirit and matter, two different things. We're spirit, we're Atma. and the way we live our life in this world right here and now. And again, everything's interconnected. We can't think that we're going to become happy at the expense of someone else's happiness. And that someone else doesn't just mean our family members, our husband or wife, or a couple of kids. It doesn't just mean our expanded family. It doesn't just mean our village or our country or our species, humanity. It means they're also part of our family. All the animals, everyone which is living. We don't even have a right to necessarily take a branch off a tree or step on an ant at all. We all have the same right to be here. But then if people claim, yeah, but we're higher, we're a more advanced species, then I say prove it. Prove it by living in a compassionate way. Like they say, live simply so that others can simply live. We don't understand. Ishalasam sarvam yat jagat jagat. Ishopanishad says everything is owned and controlled by the Lord. So we have a quota, each one of us. Everything that's living here, there's enough to support that life. But if we take our quota, if we take any more, then we create the imbalance and that struggle. And that applies to all the other species as well. So it's not possible. It is not possible to buy happiness. Like we can go to the store and buy some kind of technology. Or we can pay a PR company and buy some kind of fame. Or even pay plastic surgeon and buy some kind of beauty. You can't buy happiness like that. You can buy all kinds of limited kind of sense gratification, but it will not satisfy the Atma. There's no question about it. No one has ever been satisfied in that way. They simply become more and more mad. Every day, when you get on the internet, look at the newspaper, every day there's a story about a new star, a new movie star who's going for rehab. Right? This, what's her name? Lohan? What's it, this fellow, Charlie Sheen? On and on and on and on. When my day, when I was young, the big heroes, they were the rock stars, who either ended up overdoping on drugs or committing suicide. Jim Morrison, Jimi Hendrix, Janis Joplin, all these people. They had it all made. They were on top of the world. Everybody was adoring them. They were like God. They couldn't handle it. They couldn't even handle it enough to maintain their life. It doesn't come like that. So we cannot expect to become happy by imposing our right on someone else, taking away their rights by exploiting them. It's not possible. This is just the law of existence, the law of nature. But rather, when we learn how to serve them instead of exploit them, then we have to learn what it means to serve them. Because ultimately, even if we become a big philanthropist, even a big animal rights activist with PETA, big environmentalist to protect nature, something is missing. We have to know how to help those living entities. Just making sure that we don't kill them, feeding them, giving some clothes to someone, giving some medicine to someone, that's not going to help the Atma, their Atma any more than ours. So what the Atma needs is to understand that we're part of a larger consciousness, Supreme Lord, Krishna, to render service, bhakti, to that Supreme. And that is satisfying to ourself because we're connected part of the whole. It can't be any other way. And we have to then understand it works for me, it'll work for every Atma. So that is the real seva, that's the real help, assistance that we can give everyone. But meanwhile, we have to show them that they're not our enemy by unnecessarily exploiting and harming them. We have to live in such a way that they see that we're their friends. And then they can hopefully hear that from us as well. Thank you for coming here today, and encourage you to tell your friends as well, all the people that you know, and let's keep on getting this message out, because it's a big problem, as you heard, in India, and it's a big problem in America. But you know, that's one thing about America is as Prabhupada found out, it's fertile ground for new ideas to take hold, you know, or even ancient ideas like Goraksha, like cow protection and the message of Bhagavad Gita. But people's minds are open, you know, and if they take to it in this country, then the other countries in the world can look and follow the example.
We thank you, Maharaj, for your kind words.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare
Krishna Krishna.
Krishna Krishna.
Hare Hare.
Hare Hare.
Hare Ram.
Hare Ram.
Hare Rama.
Hare Ram.
Rama Rama.
Rama Rama.
Hare Hare.
Hare Hare.
Couple of quick announcements here. We thank Palmal Organic Farms. We thank Shelly Clark, who has helped, and also in Whitman, Mr. Garcia. All three people have taken very good care of our cows. We have been very much encouraged by His Grace Balbhadra Das, who is a chairman, president of ISCOP. He is planning to come here in near future, perhaps in June or July, to keep on encouraging us. Maharaj, we have no words to thank you. Couple of logistics also for future. As you all know, we all have volunteered here, and I have personal reasons to pass on leadership to new legs. So I'm very grateful. I'm standing here between two of these. With Maharaja's blessings, I hope the new board will decide Raju Prabhu to be our new chairman. And Satya Prabhu has kindly consented to be our president. Likewise, Rajesh Prabhu has consented to be our director. Surendra Sharma is a very strong supporter. So is the case with Mr. Pankaj Sharma. And if I'm not mentioning any name, Satish Prabhu is also there. If I'm not.
So you have chairman, president, director.
President,
how about
directors?
premier?
Write down.
Prime minister. Who's prime minister?
Volunteers.
We have just volunteers. Just one and everybody else is volunteer. That is the background.
We will prefer called Ghost Sevak or Ghost Sevika.
Yes,
That's the true identity.
Yes.
What we'd like to hear for a few minutes is what are the future plans? And what are you thinking of doing? Status quo?
Second phase. Second phase.
Now everything's all of a sudden on Raju Prabhu.
We have no plans. We have no plans.
What are the plans? What are the next steps?
Krishna has the plan. We
Let's
have no
start with
plans.
some fundraising to see if we can buy our own land. That should be our next goal.
Right.
So definitely, as of today, Alex is more on the sustainable mode. Definitely, we are getting reasonable donation from all the Go Civic.
Yeah.
And our plan is go to the next phase of where we have our own land. The cows, they have their own place where we can have more cows. We definitely want to go exponentially high, but we're going to go from 4, but we have 2 cow, 2 calf. Maybe add another 2 or 4, with which as we have better place, we can expand in future. Our goal is definitely through our website to have more communication. We want to invite more family to visit here so they can associate with the cow. Once they see the cow, it's a different experience. When you go home, you will see. I really thank you all the supporter what we have as of today, and the new family who are visiting today. Definitely we need your support with which we can take this project to the next level.
I'd like to add one more thing about what can't be done here. Just so many stages that we can increase if we have our own land. This devotee who's in charge of the Bhaktivedanta Manor Goshala in London, his name is Shyama Sundar. He coined 4 principles for cow protection. Cows are never killed, means the male calves are never killed. Like in our modern dairy industry, every male calf is immediately taken away from the mother, so it doesn't drink the milk. These 2 calves are several months old now, and they're still drinking milk from Annabelle, and soon they'll be weaned, but for at least for many months. So if that doesn't happen, they usually take them away first thing. And then after 5, 6, 7 years, the cows being fed all kinds of hormones and what have you, impregnated every year, they're sent off to slaughter, mother cows. So cows are never killed. Number two, they're milked by hand, is his principle. 3, calves suckle directly from their mothers, really said that. And 4th, which Balabhadra proposes, maybe the most important, is bulls are giving meaningful work. So what to do with the males, with the bulls, unless we train them up as oxen. So this is one of the important things that Balabhadra Prabhu can do for us, is he personally trains devotees all over the world how to do that. So with some land and the oxen being trained, then the next step is to harness them and to have them learn to plow. And then they really feel that they're also doing something to serve Krishna. You know, why just the cows are giving milk, but what about us? Of course, they're always giving the dung, and that's invaluable. Even if they don't give anything else, just the dung, and you come here and take it back to your gardens, and there's no fertilizer like that. So from beginning to end, it's just all auspiciousness.
Use everything.
Great.
Thank you
Hare
very much.
Krishna. Thank you, brother.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.